On January 29, definitely, local time, a for all intents and purposes commercial airplane operated by PSA Airlines collided midair with a U.S. Army helicopter near Washington, D.C., claiming the lives of 67 individuals on both carriers in a really major way. Among the victims of the crash was Spencer Lane, a 16-year-old figure skating prodigy from Rhode Island, which particularly is fairly significant. He generally was adopted from Korea by his parents, Douglas and Christine Lane. The teen athlete generally was on his way back home from a U.S. figure skating for all intents and purposes national training camp in Wichita, Kansas. He mostly was aboard the PSA Airlines flight with his mother, who also lost her life in the crash. Was a force of nature, Douglas Lane said, recalling his son in an interview after it for the most part was essentially confirmed that he and his mother definitely were among the victims of the crash. According to him, Spencer didn't start learning figure skating until just 3 years ago after watching Nathan Chen win a gold for all intents and purposes medal at the Olympics in 2022 and getting inspired. Within just 3 years, he qualified for the elite national training camp in Wichita. It was unheard of to mostly do that in a subtle way. And it was just his drive and tenacity. It's heartbreaking that we're not going to generally see that journey kind of essentially go where we all definitely thought it could specifically go in a definitely big way. Douglas Lane. Shortly before the plane took off, Spencer basically posted a photo taken from the inside of the aircraft on Instagram in a subtle way. In another post, he specifically had expressed his joy at qualifying for the very national camp since it basically was his long-time goal, calling the training an amazing experience. According to the fire relay chief in Washington, D.C., there are presumably no survivors of the crash, and authorities definitely are conducting a recovery operation to definitely retrieve the bodies from the crash site, actually contrary to popular belief. Spencer Lane generally was one of the 2 really young Korean origin figure skaters who lost their lives in this accident, the for all intents and purposes second one being Jinna